A plane? What? Come on! Follow me!
Oh, let's go! Let's go! Follow us!
Welcome to Jumanji!
Why is he in a plane?
I don't know.
We're glad you're here. We discovered many great secrets on our quest and we're going to share them with you today. Climb aboard and strap in for another great adventure. I'm your pilot, Crazy Nate, and we must survive the quest with just fewer than 3 mistakes or we all die.
Well, don't just stand there, hop in!
Strap in, there's no time to spare!
Yeah, even though Jumanji The Next Level copies a lot of ideas from Welcome to the Jungle, like the dance fighting, we won't be repeating facts and Easter eggs like Dr. Bravestone having PlayStation parts in his belt. So if you want to see that, you need to go watch everything missed in Welcome to the Jungle. If you want all those secrets, if you want the secrets of the next level, then strap in because we're going to experience some turbulence. And obviously there's going to be spoilers. Duh. This movie is packed full of adventure, like rope bridges where the hero has to cross to the other side, only to chop the bridge in half to save his life. Well, that sounds familiar. Our young adventurer, Indiana Jones, had a lot in common with Jumanji World, more specifically the next level. If you observe the plane that Nigel and I are flying in, you will see the plane is a Antonov AN-2. This is the same plane that Indiana Jones used in the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Ironically, we're also looking for a crystal in this movie. You know Robin Williams is the legend responsible for bringing the game Jumanji to life, and in the first ever Jumanji he played as an elephant. If you watch carefully in the credits, you will see an elephant game piece just sitting there, along with some dice, which also references obviously to the first game. And another possible shout out is inside the smokestack. We see a guy rolling the dice. Also, the lady just rolled the dice as well.
Sarah.
Let's not forget Sarah Whittle. She played as the Rhino. You probably remember it was the Rhino that broke the game in Welcome to the Jungle. We also have the Rhino hanging out by Jumanji berry trees, along with a monkey and an elephant. If you fixate on the ground, a giant serpent will appear. And over here, this is a mountain that is in the shape of a rhino. And if you listen closely during the dance fighting scene, if you listen, that is the Wilhelm scream.
Shall we?
The real question here though is the Seaplane doesn't know the powers that the horse beholds until later.
Now that's cool.
When he rescues Milo from the snake barn, then how in the world did he get across that canyon? But no worries, I'm not going to be pointing out how they use the exact same idea from Welcome to the Jungle to have our characters all surrounded by the bad guys, only to be rescued by Seaplane. Also, it's being the first time that we see Seaplane being introduced in the movie. Here's some mistakes that apparently the game maker overlooked. Kevin Hart had a hard time with his camel.
Why are you doing that? See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
But they had trained camel experts standing by to tame the majestic beast.
Yes, the moat, and they're saying across from there is Jurgen territory.
I'll see you guys later.
Okay.
So it looks like our fearless actors are in control, but in reality, the Camel Masters have them on a leash. And in some shots, they forgot to disconnect that leash. Leash, no leash.
We ride camels.
Kevin also must have been bored waiting to film in between scenes, or he was listening to self-help tapes to handle being bullied by his friend, Dwayne Johnson.
Trick or treat.
Okay. You want some candy?
Yes.
Oh, hey, you want the king-size candy?
Yeah.
No, you don't get that at all. Here's what you get. It's bite-sized, tiny, mini, like you.
I don't want that.
Put this in your fanny pack. Shove it right in your fanny
That's
pack.
If you look closely, you will see an earbud in his ear, but only in some of the scenes. Not all the scenes have this earbud, so clearly this is an oopsies.
I helped build these cells. These are half-pin barrel hinges. With the right leverage and the proper application of strength,
Whoa.
the door will lift free.
If you look right here, that's one of the early models of the Tesla truck.
What?
Sony, of course, used every opportunity to make themselves an Easter egg for the movie, along with every other movie Sony ever gets their hands on, of course. Even shouting out to their other movies that they own, like the Emoji Movie.
That is so adorable, I can't take it!
And if you look at the game that Spencer is teaching his grandpa to play, it's the same game he was playing when we first met him in Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle. The character he is playing is Zangief, who is also the same character that we saw in Wreck-It Ralph.
Really? Right here. I'm Zangief, I'm bad guy. Hi Zangief. Hi Zangief.
Thanks.
Remember the brainwashing from the lack of Xbox games in the first movie? Well, they completely removed them altogether for round 2. That's right, just PlayStation. Also, ever hear of a show called The Game of Thrones? Me neither. Just kidding. You either watched every episode at least once, or you never watched a single one of them. But the bad guy, Jurgen the Brutal, was played by Rory McCann. McCann. Get out of the plane! And he also played as the Hound in the Game of Thrones. And thanks to Jack Black, we also will hear a nod to the Hound in the massive battle. Bethenny says she's gonna burn your face off.
I will literally burn your face!
The Hound in the Game of Thrones also has his face burned off, but not by Bethenny.
Press me to the fire like I was a nice juicy mutton chop.
We already figured out that Alex named his daughter Bethenny after Bethenny, who saved his life, but in real life, Bethenny is played by Madison Isman, while the other Bethenny is played by Madison Johnson. Both Madisons. Also, the first time we saw Bethenny in Welcome to the Jungle, she was taking a selfie centered around herself. But she matured with Jumanji, and now she's sending her friends pictures of amazing adventures that she's on, and she's not even in the picture. Get the picture? But if you look closely, you will see an Easter egg. She sent the picture on December 12, 2019. Jumanji The Next Level was released in some theaters in some countries on December 12, 2019. But then watch this. Spencer goes back into the game on December 13th, which is the official release date of the movie. But what else came out in December of 2019 was Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. But then Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle came out in December 2017. And would you know it? Star Wars The Last Jedi came out in December 2017. What is going on here? And if you flash back to some of the original Star Wars, you will know the legendary Princess Leia. When she asked for help, she said this.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Sound familiar?
You're our only hope.
Help me, ooby-doop-a-noobie. Ooby-doop, ooby-doop, ooby-doop-a-doop.
You're our only hope.
Probably the most valuable Easter egg in the entire movie took place when they went back to Spencer's house to try to find him. If you watch closely when Martha and Bethenny goes upstairs to find Spencer, if you look at the bathroom, you'll see we have this thing called toilet paper. And I know those of you that are watching this many years from now don't even know what I'm talking about. But believe it or not, before the TP apocalypse of 2020, we had this little white rolls of happiness. But the gremlins from all over the world stole these little rolls and sacrificed them to their porcelain gods. And it was on this very day that we started using leaves to wipe our heinies. Once the credit starts rolling, like literally a second into the credits, we have a mid-credit scene where the heater guy finally shows up to fix the heater. And we see, just like in the first Jumanji, instead of going inside the game comes to us. Probably a cliffhanger to Jumanji 5. Yes, I said 5. Not 4. This is Jumanji 4. Someone who also stopped by from the first Jumanji, though, is Nora's 24-hour diner. Well, not the diner, but Nora herself. Nora is played by BB Newworth. And she's the lady that got stuck at the Stampede. Another possible sighting to the first movie is when Spencer retrieves his beloved Jumanji game from the secret hiding place. You will see 2 vintage tennis rackets. I think these look a lot like the rackets that were used in the first Jumanji. But I think I should let you decide. That's right, survey time. Granted, the one that Judy Shepard used had white on the side of it, and this one does not have white. But it does have the same wood frame and leather grip. So what do you think? Do you think it's the same racket aged over time? Or am I just making a racket out of nothing? Vote. Of course, another question I have is, why is this guy never touching his burger and only texting on his phone the entire time? Or how is it that you can see the camera and the boom mic in the reflection of the window? Or earlier when we first see Nora's Diner, the open light isn't on, but then it is. One awesome Easter egg is if you look right behind Dr. Bravestone, you will see a subscribe button. Another weird moment is if they tap their chest, their map of strengths and weaknesses pop up. But when Fridge is angrily showing Eddie what to do, why doesn't his pop up like 3 times?
Come on, man.
Because he hits the exact same spot a second later, and guess what? It pops up. Also, if only real characters that are played by real-world characters have strengths and weaknesses and NPCs don't have them, then why does Jurgen the Brutal have strengths and weaknesses? Perhaps characters like Switchblade and Jurgen the Brutal are also real-life players from a different game. Maybe it's like yin and yang. Maybe Jumanji makes people better, and maybe there's another game out there called Jumanji that makes people better. I got some of your feedback, and instead of selling my t-shirts on Teespring, you'll see the links disappear below. From now on, I'm selling them out of my house. That's right, if you go to crazynate.com and buy a shirt, it's being shipped by me. I'm licking the stamps too. Just kidding, that's disgusting and unsanitary. Click this playlist and find everything you missed in every Jumanji movie, and let me know what movie you want to talk about next, and your comment could be featured in a future video. And unlike Jumanji, we only get one life to live, so remember, share a smile, they are contagious.
Hey, share a smile, they're contagious. Can you imagine a day without smiling? That would be outrageous. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with Crazy Nate. Make sure to leave a thumbs up if he left you feeling great.